Okay, shalom. Okay, shalom. Like give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Barakat Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Barakat the Rakakadash. Okay, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, elders of GMS. Okay, and salutation, peace, and blessings to the hopeful elect of the children of Israel, people of Negro and Indian descent. Okay, Israelite foreigners, and Aqua is humbling himself to learn this word. Okay, at the end of camp, after our setup at just a few minutes, you can see on the video I uploaded Monday. I was talking to, I'm not sure, I don't think he ever showed himself on the camera, you know. Just when I noticed when I turned the camera off, that's when he really stepped forward and really started opening up more to me. All right, but the thing is, what I ran into a brother that was part of iuic, okay, and he had the fringes on, you know, under the shirt, but you can see him sticking up from under the shirt. But the whole purpose of this video was like I said, iuic is teaching that Esau, after 1,000 years, is going to be let out, and he's going to be, you know, amongst us in the kingdom of heaven, side by side with us in the kingdom of heaven. You know, but like I said, this guy walked up. He was a young cat too. And the funny thing about this young cat is that he said he ran into me a year before, just a year or a little bit over a year before Monday. And he said we exchanged numbers, and I usually give to some brothers I give my number out that claim they're interested in learning these scriptures. I do, you know. I got a secondary number that I give out, you know. But he said he ran into me about a year ago downtown. You know, it had to be right before those riots and everything started popping off. And he said, like I said, he said we exchanged number. He said he lost the number, and he said he was, ever since then, he was always anxious to run into some brothers that's looking to get into the scriptures. But like I said, he, you know, looking for brothers to congregate with, but he ran into iuic, so that's what he said. He was settled with that. Okay, but like I said, when he ran into me, I can see in his face he was actually kind of excited. I wish he would have showed his face on the camera and just so you can show. So you know, it's a lot of times when you can see a brother's expression in his face, that expression is telling you something. But like I said, he did. He had a little bit of excitement, you know, and I had to make my move. I had to go, but I could see he was pretty disappointed. But you know, I made sure he had a couple of my numbers. But before I left, I was still going into the scriptures. Like I said, it was a young cat. He said he was just sitting there listening, just straight up listening, you know. But when we got to Esau, he told me that they're taught that Esau, like I said, after 1,000 years, he's going to be let loose and he's going to be side by side with us. This is what they're taught. All right. But like I said, I only went and showed him a few things, and I wish I could have went into it more. But the whole purpose of these videos that we upload to go into it more. You know, hopefully the brother to continue to go out and contact me and would continue to come out and like I said, just listen. And then ultimately become a part, or you know, at least break away from that fucking iuic madness, man. You know, because hey, what the scriptures refer to as a little leaven. you know, you make yourself look like a complete fool, not having the full truth. You know, and the full truth of it is Esau, after that 1,000 years, is going to be obliterated. You know, it's going to be literally obliterated. But it's just so much. It's funny that it's up to so much debate who Esau is and Edom, and you know. But before I even get into Esau's destruction, I'm gonna have to bookmark this because I was kind of glad I found this here. Let me save that here. Okay, and this is Edom, the Edomites. Just going a little bit of history of the land and so on and so on. And I was so surprised when they got down to this. The name Edom, red, may have been derived from the red sandstone cliffs characteristics of the country. It was applied to Esau. It was applied to Esau because the color of his skin. Now, that's kind of funny. Why can a lot of those other groups get that? You know, why can't the church understand that? Why can't those Christians understand that? You know, or from the color of the pottage for which he sold his birthright. Now, come on, how could he be named Esau and he hasn't even eaten the goddamn pottage yet? People are fools, man. Let me read a little bit more of this. Esau is equated with Edom as dwelling in Mount Seir, and he is described as the father of Edom. 36:9 Hebrews. Or just go to Genesis. I think it is 36. Wow. The name, however, is probably much older. It may be traced in the records of 12 dynasties in Egypt. And the tale, I don't care about the history of the name, but we're talking about Esau, where Edom is named as and in Assyrian inscription, the name Udumu occurs of a city and of a country. The latter may have been named from the former. This again may have been derived from a deity, Edom, who may be traced in such a name as Ebed Edom. Okay, so anyway, where'd I have it at? I'm going into the Bible, the Zondervan. And as the Zondervan was two brothers that started a Bible publishing or a religious publishing company that published books, tapes, and videos. And I might add 2 Edomites, which they could be Jakes if you read into the little bit of the history of them. But Esau digs, man. Esau digs, man. Okay. So diving into it, and it's just simple as this: that man, hey, look, this is the end of Esau's kingdom. Pursuing the book of let me see if I can find this real quick. Second Ezra's. Give me 1 second here. Okay. You know what? Let me do it this way. Let me just look up this word. Follow it. Here we go. 2 Ezra 6 and 9. So, like I was saying, this is what we're witnessing now. This is what we're witnessing now. 2 Ezra 6 and 8. And he said unto me, because everything is in the proper order as the word, as the Lord put it out. Everything is being done decently and in order. The word, the prophecies, and it's how it's playing out. All right, just as he said. Okay, and he said unto me, and before this devil is fully destroyed, his destruction came spiritually through the word of the Lord. All right, and through this word, the physical is going to follow. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob hand held first the heel of Esau, which represent his grasp on him, slavery. All right, he's going to be a servant. For Esau is the end of the world. And this is where we're at now. This is the end of Esau's world playing out as we live, man. You know? And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, okay? So, where's I at? Here we go. The Bible's Zondervan Dictionary. In the Bible, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary also give you a couple of scriptures to look up as well. Okay, so right here in the book of Edom, the definition of Edom, it says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures. Figures and prominently, meaning he's standing out. It's obvious. It's his role, you know, that he's playing, which, you know, we're like standing before and to represent. That's what he's saying there. It's visible, being visible, you know. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as in the scriptures goes, that word figure being a symbol, which goes into Malachi itself. You know, no, Slakit, Romans 9. That symbol, a symbol, that vessel. Now you get where I'm going with that. That symbol, that word figure meaning a symbol. And going, like I said, Romans 9, that vessel. Is it Romans 9 not even referring to? Let's see if I can get that. Shit. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me get this Romans. And here we go. Okay, here we go. Referring to that symbol. All right. It says here, Romans 9 and 18, it says, therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy. Because this is one thing Jake just don't want to accept, especially the Christian church and some Israelite groups. That Esau, man, that's his role, man. He's just that's his role. That's the destroyer of worlds, the whooping stick of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. So it says, therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will harden. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Verse 20, nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? That's clearly obvious who that is. The vessels of honor, the Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel, the elect, I must be more specific, the elect children of Israel. All right, and a vessel of dishonor, which are the Edomites. Okay, what if the Most High willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, enduring with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? All right, the Edomites. The vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. Oh man, I got so many scriptures to go into that. So going back to the Zondervan Bible, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures, and that's where all the Christian churches go off at, you know, the prophecies, you know. And what's the spirit of the Lord? What's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai? The Revelations says the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. You ain't no getting around that. There is no getting around that. Is that 21? 22? Yeah, 22. Oh, give me a second here. Here we go. Beautiful scripture. Revelation 22:10. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecies of this book, for the time is at hand. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. For the time is at hand. That's where a lot of these prophets are, a lot of these Christian churches is just straight up going off, man. You know, I was looking for that fire scripture that says the spirit of prophecy. Let me try 34:17. Okay, so Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgment. The scene of great future judgment, which hasn't happened yet, but where it's playing out now. All right. This is the book of, this is Malachi straight up playing out right now as we speak. And I haven't even mentioned the book of Obadiah yet. I haven't even mentioned the book of Obadiah yet. And we know the Lord hates Esau, but whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. You know, thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the people, the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. You know, indignation forever. That's forever, man. You know, and it goes right hand in hand with the book, with the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. What do you think they come up with this? That's speaking on the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Where do you think they come up with Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene? See, some people read the book. You know, some people read the book and interpret it correctly. you know. So let me get this here. So many scriptures, man. Keep on deck and keep in mind Numbers 24. Keep in mind Numbers 24. Okay. So it says, Slock it. I was gonna look up this Malachi just to show you something here. Okay. Let me dive in here. You know, I just got chills just thinking about, you know, what I'm going over. I straight up just got chills because I know this is it. This is it. You know, and like I said, through our faith that we strongly believe, man, that this is it. This is the end of this devil, man. You know, this is the end of this goddamn devil. Okay, I'm going down to verse 4. And I'm looking up that word indignation forever. If we know it's righteous judgment, that indignation is righteous judgment. To denounce, express indignation, be indignant, To have indignation, be indignant, be angrily indignant, be defiant, to be adherent, to express indignation, speech, denounce, and curse. To show indignation, show anger. To show anger. And he said forever. The scripture says forever. So it says here, after the scene of great future judgment, mentioned a couple of scriptures, but first it says she is the only neighbor of the Israelites, meaning that there's two different neighbors, there's two different nations there. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. No promise. So check these scriptures out. Check these scriptures out. Isaiah 34:5 says, Isaiah 34:5 says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. It continues in verse 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of the rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And it's where that applies anywhere where these devils are now. Anywhere where these devils have conquered and, and built their cities and named towns and cities after them and streets after them, It's pretty much damn near the whole damn earth. Okay, that was one scripture. It mentions 63, verse 63, chapter 63. It mentions that. We'll say 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel. This is, I was talking about Yahushua traveling in the greatness of his strength. Listen, the scripture says, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. He's going to be given, his full power to, let me tell you this, put it this way. He's going to be released with his full power on this world. All right. And that's when those chariots and all the host of the angels that's going to be with him. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel. That red is that blood, in thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine vat. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. And this is all Yahushua's vengeance, man. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. Redeeming when he's going to gather the children of Israel. All right? And the thing is, they believing after that 1,000 years that this devil is literally going to be living side by side with us in the kingdom of heaven. That's not scriptural. Now, here we go, like I mentioned, Numbers 20. Was it Numbers 20 that I mentioned? Numbers 20. Oh, man. I might have been the wrong one. Let me see if I can find this. Numbers 24. Here we go. This is Numbers 24:17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a sepulchre shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth, And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession. For his enemies of and Israel shall do valiantly. All right, and that possession, meaning ownership, slaves, slaves, ownership. So, before I even continue that, so I mean, these devils they gotta do their part to help build the kingdom of heaven, man. Psalms 149:6. Let the high praise of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. And part of that judgment is to annihilate them after they serve their slavery. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. And like I said, part of that judgment is total obliteration. total destruction. And that spirit is not going to be spread amongst Israel. Those spirits will be dispersed amongst the other nations. All right. So it says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, which Amalek is one of the tribes, and actually Amalek is the head tribe of Edom. And to show you that Amalek, I'm not sure where it is, but I guess I have to go and do some reading. He's one of the third or fourth that was born, I'm pretty sure. Okay. I'm reading 36 and 36 and I'm going to go through this quick. 6. It says 36 and 6. And Esau took his wives. Esau took his wives of the daughter of Canaan. Okay, keep going down. Okay. Took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all his beasts and all the substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together. In the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau; Ruel, the son of Bashemoth, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zipho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah's, Esau's wife. Amalek, one of the sons. And like I said, verse 24, Numbers 24 and verse 20. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. All right, now let me jump to Obadiah real quick so I can end this. Let me see if I can find it. It's easy, man. It's kind of funny. They don't want to condemn their damn enemies, man. What's wrong with iuic? What's wrong with Nate, man? So it says this in Obadiah verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. Zion, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and that's the elect. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Come on, what is stubble, man? What the hell could stubble be? Stubble. Stubble. Stumps of green stalks left in the ground after reaping. All right. Vulgar Latin, reduced form of Latin, stipula, stalk, straw. Man, that didn't give you nothing. That didn't give you nothing. Let me do it this way. Obadiah. Let's see what the blue letter says. All right, verse 18. Stubble. Stubble. Chaff. Chaff. I love doing this. See what chaff is. Did I spell it right? It's 2 F's. Here we go, chaff. Chaff. Husk of wheat, oats, or other grains. Chew. Used figuratively for worthless material. All right. But stubble. It's pretty much what stubble is used when you get a fire started. You know. That's what stubble is usually food used. Stubble, you know, it pretty much is worthless. It ain't worthless, but useless, worthless material, you know, that you use to get a fire started. In the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them. There you go, that word kindle. So you know he's giving reference to starting a fire, man. Come on. Kindle. To burn. Hotly pursue, to burn, to hotly pursue, to kindle, to inflame. So we know it's talking about burning. In the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining. Again, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So, till next time, Lord willing, shalom.